Hey there, I'm Cannon Sharp. I'm in the speech communications class, and today I'm going to talk to you about my important object speech. When I found this assignment online, the first thing that came to my mind were handmade pens. And the reason these came to mind is because I've been obsessed with them for so long, for about 2.5, 3 years now, and I actually make them myself. And I could talk to you forever and ever about the process and the results and the different things about handmade pens, but today I'd like to just talk about three things that I find myself relating to these handmade pens. The fact that they're unique and they stand out, the fact that they're durable and they last and they're built for tough conditions, and the fact that they can do all the same job as any Bic or Pilot, but they're just something a little bit different about them that makes them better than just any dollar store pen. Now, the fact that they're unique goes without saying. There's so many different materials and styles of pen that can be made. This pen, in fact, is made from horsehoof and is in a Southwest style pen, and it's a twist mechanism pen, and there's all sorts of different kinds of pen. There's click pens, there's ballpoint, there's fountain, there's rollerball. You can go on and make every style of pen with every material and never run out of joy or excitement in building these pens, and that's how I feel like I am. I can just talk for on, and whenever I talk to people, it's just one thing after another, and I feel like I'm unique, like these pens are unique, and that I always bring something new to the table whenever I meet someone. The fact that people, whenever they see someone with a handmade pen, are just immediately intrigued and interested, I find that to relate to me because I just find myself to be interesting. That may sound conceited, but I just find myself to be an upbeat, interesting guy. And once you get to talk to me, I can talk about all sorts of subjects, all sorts of topics, all sorts of styles, like the pens. Now, they're also durable. I've made probably 120 to 200 pens in my 3 years of making pens. And I can guarantee that each and every one of them has been dropped on the floor from a height of 6 feet or greater and have never had a problem with them, never got a scratch, a buff, anything like that, never cracked, and they're just built to last. And the same goes for me. I'm very capable of dealing with things when life gets hard. My child, whenever he was born, spent an entire month in the NICU, and that was a hard time for me, but I had the backup and the support I needed in order to make it through that, and it made me more durable. And the final thing that I find to relate myself to the pen is that, yes, they do the same job as a Bic or a Pilot or anything any other pen you can think of. And people may ask, and I often ask myself this when I'm trying to sell the pens, why would someone want to spend more money on this pen instead of going to Walmart and spending $5 on 20 pens? And the fact of the matter is that you're going to get a pen that is unlike any other pen. Just like if I'm chosen to do something, I'm going to do it much different than someone else is going to do, and it's going to be in a way that you're going to realize that you're working with me. Whenever you hold a Bic or a Pilot or anything like that, you just know you're holding a pen. You're just writing something down. Whenever you hold a handmade pen, especially one of this size, you're going to know that you're holding this pen. It's a different pen than you've ever used. And that's what I see in myself. Whenever employers have me do a job and I get it done, they always congratulate me and thank me, and they're like, oh, I never thought of doing it that way. We'd have just done it this way, that, the process that's always been done. But I find that I'm just a little bit different. I'll do the same job as any other person and get it done the way it needs to be done, but I'm going to do it in a different and better way than just the normal, average, everyday Bic. There's a lot of pens out in the world that can write essays, that can write masterpieces, that can write orchestras, and they can write it with a Pilot, a Bic. They can write it with a Pen Master. They can write it with all sorts of things. But many of the masterpieces that were written, since they were in old times, they were written with feather pens. And if you think about it, no two feather pens were the same. They were from different feathers, they were from different birds, and they looked different. And that's what's I find in myself, that I'm just a little bit better than your average everyday Beck. Thank you.